when I came to Utah, I came as a church planter. It's kind of funny because in the seminary I went to a really, really top-rated evangelical seminary, but there was no class in the curriculum for church planters. It was in the early 80s, and the church planting movement sort of erupted in America in the early 90s, and all the resources over. So like I had to invent an independent study class. There was one book in the library on church planting. And so I came out pretty poorly equipped to do that. And but so today, there's so many great resources available. There's a lot of different models. Now, here's the thing I've learned about Utah, though, is that you have to be selective about the models. Church planters are welcome in Utah today. There's some great successes that we've got great stories of people who are getting it done and who've had great ministries here. But you have to be selective about the model, because what works in Denver, what works in the South, is not necessarily going to work in Utah. Or it's not going to work without being contextualized to Utah. There's no just add water and boom, instant church here in Utah. There's a longer timeline, greater patience, maybe more work to do. The questions about missiological questions and so forth here. But so I came as a church planter, and the church that I planted originally, we were intentional about planting other churches. We planted a couple of other churches, and then so I became part of in our denomination that we were part of at the time. They asked me to lead the church planting emphasis in our region. So I've coached a bunch of church planters who are coming. This was 15, 20 years ago, but so I was coaching church planters and helping them to succeed. And a lot of them are still on the job today, and they're doing great work today. Other ones of them have, didn't take hold, and they've gone on to other things. And so that's the nature of church planting. Especially maybe in Utah, the rate of success might be less than somewhere else, but there's still a lot of success. There's still a lot of great things that happen. Now, I love church planting partly because it gives you an opportunity to reinvent the wheel. It gives you an opportunity to think, what's the kind of church that would make a difference here, and how do we shape that? There's biblical standards for what a church is, but there's also cultural expressions of what a church might look like. So it gives me an opportunity to say, this is the way my denomination has always done it. This is how we've always done worship, et cetera, et cetera. But we have an opportunity to create something that is going to really hopefully fit better in this particular community, whether it's a rural community or a suburban community, whether it's whether it's an ethnic community or it's a majority race community and so forth. So that's to me exciting about church planting. And so church planting right now, as I would look at the Utah scene, there's been a bunch of guys who've come and a bunch of guys who've been successful. And part of that is one of the things I've been trying to trumpet is learn the culture. Be a missionary. Think like a missionary. Because you can read the books before you come, and all that's helpful, but you don't really know it till you live here. And then you see what happens. You have conversations with people, and you see how it works out, and you see how people respond, what they're responding to. And so there's some great networks right now. They're great associations, church planters. There's one larger denomination, I won't name who they are, but they're church planters in that group. They're vibrant, they're energetic, they work really well with other groups, where the old timers in that denomination, not so much. They kind of cloister and keep to themselves. And so there's something about church planting that creates this environment for collaboration. We're comparing notes. We know that it's not going to be easy, so I need you to help me understand this. I'm going to help you understand that. And that's really part of the climate of church planting in Utah today.